What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to New Year, New Books. Right next to me, as you can see, 2 stacks of books that I have accumulated in the month of January. I'm going to let you know all the new books that I'm going to be reading this year in 2025. So without further ado, let's begin. I'm gonna go through the books that I do not yet have but are currently in transit in the mail. The first book of 2025 that has been highly anticipated, and you may or may not see in a reading vlog coming near you soon, is none other than Onyx Storm. This came out when you're seeing this video last week, and honestly I've been a little upset at Amazon because I pre-ordered it and it has not yet come in the mail. So hopefully by the time you're watching this I will have my hands on it and I'll be already reading it, but as of right now it has not yet come in the mail, but I do have it kind of in essence. So that's the first book of this video. The second is one that I have not yet bought but I intend to get at some point this year. It is Us Against You. It is the second book in the Beartown trilogy by Fredrik Backman, and that is the third book that I have, and I actually finished this already in the month of January. I got this on January 2nd. I thoroughly love this book. This book stole my heart. This book hurt my heart. This book definitely made me feel all the emotions, and I totally understand the hype that it has received in the book community because it truly is a phenomenal read. I have underlined so many pages. I have dog-eared a few because the lines and the quotes that Fredrik Backman writes is like none other. I've never read an author that has such beautiful lyrical metaphorical writing before, and it was truly a treat. So I'm excited to read the rest of the series and get my hands on them this year. So now we have the first 3 books down. Let's get into all the books that I got in Free Little Library. So that's also another short that you're going to be seeing shortly, is me going to Free Little Libraries and getting a bunch of books. So without further ado, let's get into the Free Little Library finds. First we have Kristin Hannah, Summer Island. I don't know anything about this book, but I'm quite excited to read it because I've heard nothing but good things about Kristin Hannah. Next we have a book of the month book called Sisters in Arms. This is specifically about the true story of the 6,888th Central Postal Directory Battalion. Sisters in Arms explores the untold story of what life was like for the only all-black female U.S. battalion to be deployed overseas during World War II. So I am so excited to read this because this year I kind of want to get into my historical fiction era, but as we all know, this is not historical fiction, this is based on fact. So I want to get into my literary historical literary era. Next we have Liane Moriarty, 9 Perfect Strangers. It's set at a remote health resort, which I found a little bit interesting. You know, some things go wrong, some things are revealed, there's secrets, there's mysteries. I'm interested to see if I like it. I don't know, something about it just caught my eye, caught my attention, so we'll see if I end up really enjoying this book. Next we have a book by Marie Benedict and Victoria Christopher Murray. I have read The Personal Librarian by these 2 authors together, and I really enjoyed that book. I rated it 4.5 stars, and I have The First Ladies here, and they specialize in historical fiction based on fact as well. So I'm really excited to read it. This was a Free Little Library find. It still has the Barnes & Noble buy one get one 50% off sticker on it. All of these books that I got at Free Little Libraries are all almost in perfect condition. So I'm very pleased by that, and I'm very excited to read this. Next, we have a fantasy called House of Salt and Sorrows. I've seen a little bit about this book. I've heard that people like it, and Stephanie Garber has a little blurb on the front cover, and I actually really enjoy Stephanie Garber's writing. So if she likes it, I'm betting that I'm gonna like it as well. I was very excited to find this. Like I said, I've heard a few people talk about this, and it was on my radar, but it wasn't on my priorities list, and I saw it at a Free Little Library, and I was like, I'm definitely gonna grab it. This is the first in a series, so we'll see if I like it enough to get the other installations of the series. Next, we have a classic called The Giver. I have been wanting to get my hands on this book for so long, honestly years at this point. I believe some people had to read it for high school. I did not. So I'm excited to see what I think. I also heard that it's made into a movie and it has John Newbery medal. That's exciting. Next we have The Rewind, and if you guys know, I believe her name is Rebecca Cyril. She wrote In 5 Years, and that's basically the premise of this book, except it has a historical 90s twist to it rather than it being in modern times. It's a romance, but there's a little bit of time travel involved, and I'm excited to see what I think because it looks really good. Next we have a book that my husband thought would be a good idea to get for me from a Free Little Library, and it's Lost and Found by Danielle Steele. It's in the mass market paperback format, so we'll see. I believe it is about finding oneself again after after tragedy, after heartbreak, I'm not entirely sure. Now we have a book that has been quickly made into a Hulu original series, and it was her debut novel. That is Little Fires Everywhere. I'm honestly very excited to read this. I've heard nothing but good things about this book and this author because I'm also trying to get into my literary fiction era as a whole. After reading Beartown, I was like, wow, this is really, really good. I want to see what other authors I can find that really pull out my heartstrings. So we have Little Fires Everywhere. And now we have a few random selections that I just saw and I was like, wow, that sounds really good. We have Diary of a Wimpy Kid Old School. I have the entire collection of Diary of a Wimpy Kid except book 9. So now I have book 10. I need to find book 9 somewhere, bringing you back to the elementary/middle school days. And I'm just looking forward to this. Could definitely be either a palette cleanser or just to add to my collection so that my kids one day can read it. Now, this is a find that I read the back cover and I fell in love. I really think that I'm going to enjoy this book. It's called The Other's Gold. It's about 4 friends that grow up together. They go through college together and now they're navigating motherhood together. And since I'm a mom now, I think that I'm really gonna resonate with this book. Next we have Tim O'Brien, The Things They Carried. What really got me is it says a book that matters not only to the reader interested in Vietnam, but to anyone interested in the craft of writing as well. I am interested in the craft of writing and I've heard great things about this book. I've heard that people read it in school and it was really moving, so I'm excited to read this at some point as well. Now we have what has classified itself as a low fantasy. This is Running Close to the Wind. This is actually an ARC copy and it's in perfect condition. I believe there's 4 friends and they're on the sea. There's pirates, there's romance, there's a sea serpent. There's just a lot going on, but it's a low fantasy. Don't think I've ever read one of those before, so I'm excited to see what I think about this. Next we have another book by Celeste. It's called Our Missing Hearts. This is her second release, so her second book ever published. Like I said, I want to read Little Fires Everywhere and then I'll be reading Our Missing Hearts right after. Now we have a bunch of books from my sister-in-law and these are the last 4 books I have for this video and they're all fantasies. If you guys know, I love fantasy. That is my preferred genre. That is my favorite genre. We'll just go through them rapid fire because I have not looked at the synopsis. I just trust her judgment and I believe that if she liked it, I'll like it too. So we have 4 Dead Queens by Astrid Schultz. We have Legend by Marie Lu. This is also a series, so I have heard Faith's reading things. If you know her on YouTube, she really liked this and she's reading the series, so I think that I might like it too because we share similar tastes. Next we have Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. I believe Sarah Caroli read this. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see if I like it too. I'm actually really excited to read it. The feel of it in paperback feels just very satisfying. And Sarah J Maas wrote a blurb that says, a brilliant debut full of everything I love. And we all know Sarah J Maas is like the best author ever. I have high hopes for this one for sure. And last but not least, we have The Queen's Assassin by Melissa de la Cruz. I have not heard anything about this book, but I believe it has a multiple points of view in this storyline. I believe it's also a romantasy. So I'm really excited to see what I think. That is the 22 books that I have on my New Year, New Books TBR that I have acquired in January. I'm super excited about. This is a pretty large book haul. I'm gonna have to input all of these into my Notion physical TBR so that I can keep track of what I'm reading. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what books are on your guys' radar on your New Year physical TBR. Comment down below if you have read any of these and if you highly recommend them. I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless you guys and peace.